So I've been using the Sigma 24-70 almost exclusively over the past few months. And I'm finally ready to show you some things I like and I don't like about this lens. Hopefully you get something good out of it. So let's go. So let's start with some positive, and that is, of course, the first point is build quality. This thing is built like a tank. It's almost completely built out of metal. The focus rings are rubberized and the zoom rings also rubberized. This is such a well-built lens, and really you can feel it when you hold it in your hands. Another positive is that this has weather sealing, so you get this weather sealing gasket on it, which really makes shooting in adverse conditions way safer for your lens and for your camera. You can shoot with this in the pouring rain or in a very dusty environment and don't have to worry about your sensor getting dusty or getting some splash water on it, which could potentially be fatal for your camera. But you probably don't want to see me talking about this, waving it around. You actually want to see how the video quality and how the picture quality looks. So I'm gonna switch the lenses over here real quick. So this is what the Sigma 24-70 looks like. I'm at 24mm now, and before that I was at 28 because I shot this segment before that actually with the kit lens, the 28-70. That's actually a good example for you to see the difference between 28 and 24mm, because there's also the Tamron 28-75mm. That's very similar and often compared to this lens. So you can actually see the low and focal length difference. So what do you think? Is the difference between 24 and 28mm actually that big? Comment that down below. Okay, so let's put that thing aside. Another plus point is that this lens has such a thought through design. When I just changed the lenses, putting this lens on is so good because there's actually this texture on the lens itself that gives you more grip when you actually put it onto your camera. You get an autofocus manual focus switch, you get a programmable focus hold button, and me personally, I don't really use this. But if you like using these things, then that's perfect for you. For me, it's not really that big of a point, and for me, it's more like this texture that really makes putting on the lens onto your body way more pleasant. I'm actually here to do something different than just talking about this lens with you, so I think I'm just gonna start. So the next positive is really the bokeh. The bokeh is beautiful with this lens. It's kind of specific to Sigma art lenses. It's kind of different than the bokeh you're kind of used to. I'm just gonna put an example picture up here. I don't know how to describe it. It feels more like not this blur, but like, I don't know, it's kind of this washed out blur, but I really like the style of it. Okay, so enough talking. I think I'm really have to get started now because the conditions are perfect. So let's just get this set up. So another really great thing about this lens is how versatile it is. You can pretty much shoot everything with it, from cars, what I'm about to do right now, to landscapes, to portraits. How do I put this thing on? It's always kind of a struggle to put this thing on. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, it's really versatile and you can pretty much shoot everything with it. I know a prime lens is probably better for portraits and ultra wide lenses are probably better for landscape, but really when it comes down, you can do pretty much everything with this lens and you don't have to spend all that money into prime lenses if you don't have the money right now. So really, if you want to do almost everything with one lens, you can do it. And I know if you really want the best quality possible, you're probably gonna have to move into those more dedicated lenses, but you can get away with pretty much everything. Even now, look, I'm gonna take it off the tripod. You can even vlog with this lens. I mean, kinda, not really, but you can kind of vlog with it. But if you're really serious about vlogging, I would really get an ultra wide lens because it's definitely worth it. So I'm just gonna switch over now. So this is a location. What I want to do is get better at direct sunlight car photography, because usually, and what I'm telling everybody is, don't photograph cars in direct light, but I really want to get good at it. And I mean, look at this location, it's so beautiful, the nature, I mean, look at it, this thing, it's so beautiful. Okay, now so let's actually get started. Okay, so the next positive is really the image quality. I'm gonna put the pictures up here that I just got and some of my favorites up here. The image quality of this is really great, and I know the image quality is also gonna be heavily reliant on your camera and on what kind of filter you're gonna put on this, but really the image quality of this is great, and I couldn't be more happy with the image quality. And now that we talked about all the positives, it's time to talk about some negatives, because even though this lens is really great and the positives are great, it also comes with some negatives, and you really should know about them. So the first negative is really the weight. This thing comes at 830 grams, and really with that build quality and that image quality, you kind of have to make that trade-off. And when you're used to only using small primes and or like these cheaper lenses, and maybe also your kit lens, then this thing is really going to put a medium-sized stone into your backpack. And really that's something you should consider, because at first when I bought this lens I was like, yeah, it's no problem, it's gonna feel hefty, but it's okay. But when my girlfriend and I were in Scotland and we were walking up after a seat, I really felt the weight in my camera bag, even though I got some really cool pictures with it. This was really heavy, and at some point I switched over to the 50mm because I was kind of getting tired of holding this in my hand. So you should really consider this if you're thinking about using this for travel. And as I showed you, you can vlog with it, but really the weight is going to put you down, and you probably won't be able to hold this thing out for long, except if you're kind of built like Peter Lindgren, then you probably can hold this thing up for like 5 hours straight, but most of us aren't built like that. So you should really keep that in mind and not take this lightly, because the setup I have right now, Sony a7 III with the Sigma 24-70 and the Rode Video Mic Go 2, then this setup is going to be about 2 kilos, and I don't think many of us can hold this out for really that long. So that's really something to keep in mind. So the second negative thing about this lens is really the zoom creep. It's actually pretty noticeable, and I don't know if it's just my lens, but there's a lot of zoom creep. You can lock the lens at 24mm, and you can unlock it manually or just by zooming in, but this only works when it's zoomed in and you want to lock it at 24mm. When I have the lens all the way at 70 and I just hold it up, it just slowly zooms in or out, whatever, to 24mm. Which is really, really annoying. And when I just point it downwards, it zooms out slowly. And that's really something that annoys me, especially when I'm using this on a gimbal and I want to balance it, and it just keeps zooming in and messes up the balance, which is really annoying. But other than that, there's only one point left, and it's kind of a positive and a negative at the same time. So what is this lens going to cost you? In the US it's going to be $1,069, and in Europe it's going to be $1,198. That's a lot of money. I actually got mine for $900, brand new, 2 years of warranty, and no like weird guide that I bought it from. And if you want to know how I got these deals or similar deals, then comment that down below, because I would gladly do a video about this for you. So it's really $1,000 or even a bit more in Europe going to be worth this lens? I think yes. I think it really is. I know the price is going to sound a bit steep, but when you consider the G-Master variant, that is $2,000. And the G-Master Mark II is even more pricey. It's at $2,300. That's insane. And I know there's other variants on the lower end out there, like the Sigma 28-70 or the Tamron 28-75 f2.8. And these lenses are great too, but for me the 24mm at the low end is really worth the extra money. So can you actually get by with only this lens? And I gotta say, yes, you can. At least to a point, because this lens is a great all-rounder, but of course it's limited. If you want to do some ultra-wide stuff like vlog style content or some landscapes, then an ultra-wide lens is gonna be very useful for you. Or if you want to get some more reach out of it, then a telephoto lens is definitely gonna complement this well. But for me at least, I only need 2 lenses right now, and that's wide-angle zoom lens for like vlog style content, and the Sigma 105 f1.4. That's great for car photography, but anything else I really don't need. It's more like a want at that point, because this lens does this so well. So what do you think? Do you like the Sigma 24-70? If you have one, comment your experiences down below, and if you want to get one, then comment other questions down below that you might have. So other than that, you're gonna want to watch this video as well, and I'm gonna see you next week. Bye.